And the midst of the Chinese incursion, these exclusive visuals that we are bringing to you are from Chumar in Ladakh, where the Chinese troops have been camping since the 5th of September. Headlines Today is the only channel and the first channel at the actual line of control. It's been 18 days since this incursion took place, with the troops refusing to withdraw. What's worrying is that the Chinese troops now seem to be building their base. On your screens are Chinese tents that have been pitched in the area. Ashraf now joining us from the newsroom, who's in fact got us these exclusive visuals. Ashraf, the troops have also withheld 14 horses off the villagers in the area and are using them to move around. Our exclusive report from the area states that these troops are pushing civilians of their areas to the forefront.
Yeah, basically the crises are at two places, Damchuk as well as Chumar. Damchuk is the area which is a bit highly populated than Chumar. That is why there see the presence of these civilian people who are protesting against one another. On one side, after objecting the construction of irrigation canal in Damchuk, the Chinese army is now assembling the villagers from their side and are bringing them on LEC, on the actual point of congestion there in Damchuk, and are saying them that you should protest against the construction of irrigation canal. But the larger issue and the major issue is in Chumar, where for last 18 days the hundreds of Chinese troops are not only stationed, but they are building and constructing the bases there. Regular supplies are coming for them, and even they have withheld the 14 horses of the nearby villages which went on that day to that area for grazing, and they have been captured by the Chinese troops and they are being used by them now for the pony ride. Now, this is not the only issue. The biggest news which has come out from the area, as we extensively visited throughout the line of actual control yesterday, and that is that now the Indian Army has made its mind that they are not going to attend any flag meeting with PLA in Chashul. The basic reason for it is that the demand put by these Chinese troops in the flag meeting is that they are not going to move out from the occupied area, but still they are just trying to communicate to the Indian troops that they should keep their watchtower and the post some kilometers behind where they are. It is completely unacceptable to the Indian Army and in the Indian interests. That is why now the Indian Army has clearly said that they are not going to attend any flag meeting with Chinese on line of actual control. Probably any solution which may ever come will come from the higher authorities. That means by the diplomatic channels in Delhi, by the defense minister, or even by himself, the prime minister.
Right, Ashraf, we also understand that they are not allowing residents of Damchuk to construct irrigation canals in this area, claiming that it's disputed territory. So not only is there an incursion, but they're also sort of, pushing the villagers in the area, inconveniencing them severely.
Yeah, this is the fact. Basically, this come out yesterday when the local councillor of the Damchuk himself went to the area, the point of dispute, and then started negotiating with the people who had come from the China. These people are basically from the Tibet area of China, and they speak Tibet, and this was the person who could understand the Tibetan language. He spoke to us, to Headlines Today, and he said that when he approached those civilians and said that we are living with one another, we are the neighbors to one another, what objection you have? Then on the reply, the people who were on from the Chinese side, they said that they are being pushed by the PLA, and there is a tremendous pressure by the Chinese army to the villagers of China that they should stop the villagers of Indian controlled area to construct any kind of irrigation channel in the area. That is what was stated by that councillor who went there for kind of negotiations yesterday.
Right, and Ashraf, this comes in the view of the heightened the Chinese incursions. Remember, the standoff intensified on Sunday. You visited this area. You've got us this exclusive ground report. We understand that they have pitched, in fact, 7 tents in the Chumar area.
The number of tents could be more, because only what we could see, we could tag the photographs of the area. There are the many troops of the Chinese army on one side of the mountain, but on the other side of mountain, where naked eye cannot see anything, what is the build of actually the Chinese army, that could not be assessed there. But probably what the ground reports and the intelligence reports suggest that at least more than 1,000 troops have established a base in that area of Chumar. This is the area where in 2011 the Chinese army first broke the bunkers, the watch bunkers of the Indian army when they come up in the helicopters and then destroyed those bunkers. And now what is unpleasant and something different by the Chinese is that they have even occupied that area in this intrusion because they are 15 kilometers deep inside the Chumar area into the Indian territory. On the day when they came to the area, there were many horses which you mentioned earlier, 14 horses of the villagers in that area, some yaks, 14 of them. Some of them, even as their routine, returned back to their native places, to their native farmers, but the horses were withheld by the Chinese troops and are being used by them. That is the another issue. It is a small village in Chumar which is facing this tough pressure here. Basically, they are all the shepherds, they are the nomads. They just graze their yaks, their horses, their goats and sheep in the mountains, and that is the only their survival for the life, that is the only the source of their income. And also one important point which I did not mention so far is that the famous Pashmina goat, the goat of Pashmina, the Pashmina is a kind of fiber which is very famous of Kashmir, that basically comes from this area, Chumar area. The specified Himalayan goat is getting grazed there in that area, and if this pasture is being grabbed by the China, it may impact also to the production of Pashmina in the Ladakh region and finally to the Pashmina production and products in Kashmir.
Thank you, Ashraf, for bringing us that exclusive ground report. We also have Anand Krishnan joining us on the phone line. Anand, this exclusive ground report coming in, lots of development. The Chinese army has been asked to get ready for a regional war. You have, Chinese incursions into Ladakh almost every day. The standoff only intensifying.
Yes, I think we have two messages from China so far. In fact, the Chinese Foreign Ministry today just saying a few minutes ago that the very strong message that they feel President Xi and Prime Minister Modi had agreed to resolve this peacefully. So they are completely rejecting the reports we saw in the media of the army being told about the regional war. In fact, we can tell you that this is something rather routine in terms of in PLA meetings, and it's not something that's actually India-specific. But having said that, the Chinese military also made quite clear that as far as they are concerned, their activities are taking place on what they see as China's side of the line of actual control. So as far as they are concerned, that they haven't violated any agreements with India, so they're probably not going to leave in the short term.
Right, G.D. Bakshi, defense expert, also joining us in the phone line. We understand that for the last 13 days that these Chinese civilians have mingled with the Chinese troops. They are not allowing residents of Demchuk to construct irrigation canals in the area, claiming it's a disputed territory. So this is going beyond, a standoff at the military level now.
No, but it is interesting to observe
Right, Anand Krishnan are still with us on the phone line. Anand, this is also, let's just look at it in the sense of in light of the Chinese army being asked to get ready for a regional war. Chinese President Xi Jinping asking the PLA to be combat ready. Now, so could that also be in light of his recent visit and the Chinese incursions, or also what the situation like is in the PLA currently?
No, I think frankly too much has been made into this statement because if you have followed the PLA's meeting, it's a pretty routine situation that's getting the army to be ready to fight a regional war under new circumstances. This is something that accompanies every military meeting, and it's something we've seen for the last 5-6 years. And we don't think there's any India connection to this statement because it's something that's more a routine iteration of every defense meeting in China. So I think too much is being made into this.